Good evening to everyone present here with us today. This is Shreyan from IGCP, today's moderator. I would like to welcome all the viewers who have joined our platform for better exchange of knowledge that is going to be shared by our keynote speaker, Doctor, for today's discussion on HPV beyond the cervix, why vaccination matters for both men and women. With much pleasure and honor, I would like to welcome today's host, Dr. Archana Verma, ma'am. Ma'am is the past president of Foxy. Now, with this, I would like to hand over the session to her so that she can proceed with the further proceeding. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you, Shreyan. Thanks a lot. Today, on auspicious occasion of Sharad Purnima, an Indian festival which symbolizes healing, balance, and feminine energy, all this deeply aligned with the woman wellness. Namaskar. As I am Dr. Archana Verma, आप सबका welcome है. I welcome you all on this special talk day on a very important topic. And I just want to say that today's session is on very important preventive step to be taken for healthy families. Today's theme is HPV vaccine. We all know, we all hear daily that HPV vaccine is being done, vaccination is being done. So today's theme is HPV vaccine beyond cervix and shield for all. So why I am saying this? Because today I'm sure that you are going to learn something new. And for years, this HPV vaccine actually was famous as cervical cancer vaccine only. But dear friends, it's far more than that. And we must know that every year, this millions silently carry HPV infection. And mind it doesn't discriminate among the boys or girls, and it affects both male and female quite similarly. And normally, when what happens, we are in distress. We always look for divine powers, but here is a power of science which will protect us and our family from this so much of deadly diseases of cancers and other. So one vaccine, one shot gives you a future free of many cancers and painful diseases. Remember, prevention is always better, economical and easy. All the developed countries like Australia and UK, they are using gender neutral vaccination and are on track to eliminate cervical cancer within a decade. And we Indians, yes, Bharat is also not far behind. It also lead the way. Our own indigenous vaccine, Cervavac, which has been introduced as a natural result to vaccinate every girl, every woman, boys, just to protect our families. So what I want to say is to just let us shift our thinking that it's not only just a woman vaccine, it's a family protection vaccine, and it's a nation building vaccine. Healthy youth, healthy nation makes Viksit Bharat and developed India. Before I introduce the two very pertinent and very powerful, impactful speakers today, I just want to appeal to each and every one of you who are listening, attending, that we should take a pledge today that to counsel every parent to vaccinate every girl, boy, so that one vaccine, one nation, and one mission can follow. Then only we will be able to conquer this. So without any further delay, I would like to invite our speaker, Dr. Seema Gupta. Dr. Seema Gupta is a director, RB Gupta Center, and she is a very popular consultant and very smart, dedicated worker who has not only done good work in her own field, but also has been recipient of DGF APJ Abdul Kalam Award, which is a very shining award, and everyone look for it. And we wish you best of luck, and we are all waiting to listen to you. And without any further delay, the mic is yours. So please, Dr. Seema Gupta, let us listen from you on the topic of HPV vaccination in females.
Thank you so much, Dr. Archana. As you rightly said, prevention is better than cure, and preventive medicine is the mainstay of eliminating communicable diseases. And we've heard so much on HPV vaccine over the past many years, more than a decade now. HPV vaccine was always thought to be as a cervical cancer vaccine, but we all know now that it's much beyond cervical cancer. HPV vaccine is a very high impact vaccine. As we can see in the slide, almost about 20 deaths are averted per 1,000 vaccinations that we give, compared to the other vaccines like hepatitis B, which is just 10, and others less than 1. So it is a very important, very impactful vaccine, and that is why it's included in the immunization schedule so that we can eliminate this deadly cancer. Its efficacy has been proved over the years. It was first introduced in 2006, approved for use, and it came to India in 2008. We have the past data of around 16 years, which proves its efficacy and safety. And then recently we have the Gardasil 9, which is a nanovalent vaccine. We earlier had the quadrivalent Gardasil 4. Gardasil 9 was introduced in 2021, and we have the own indigenous Cervavac, which is a quadrivalent vaccine introduced 2 years back, which is also a very helpful, useful, and cost-effective vaccine. Next. Coming to first of all the dosage schedule for all that we all should know. Gardasil 4, the quadrivalent vaccine, the dose schedule is for girls only. It's approved only for females. The girls between the age of 9 to 14 years are advised 2 doses at an interval of 6 months, 0 and 6 months, while women older than 15 years are advised 3 doses at an interval of 0, 2 months and 6 months. Then we have the available vaccine in our kitty, which is Gardasil 9. This is the gender neutral vaccine. It can be given to both boys and girls. In girls, 9 to 14 years, 2 doses are given at 0 and 6 months, as we give for Gardasil 4. And 15 to 26 years, it is 3 doses, 0, 2, and 6 months. While for boys, it's approved till the age of from the age of 9 to 14 years, 3 doses, 0, 2, and 6 months. Our indigenous vaccine, which we have the Cervavac, it's also gender neutral. It's for both boys and girls. For both boys and girls, the dosage schedule is for 9 to 14 years, it's 2 doses, 6 months apart. And 15 to 26 years, 3 doses, 0, 2, and 6 months, as with the other vaccines. So we have 2 gender-neutral vaccines available, Gardasil 9 nanovalent vaccine and the Cervavac, our indigenous Indian vaccine, which is the quadrivalent vaccine. All these vaccines storage is 2 to 8 degrees. It should not be frozen. It should be protected from light, and has to be given in a dose of 0.5 ml, which comes in pre-filled syringes for Gardasil, and given IM in deltoid region. And like with any other vaccination, the patient should be kept in the clinic or the hospital after vaccination, though we don't see any major adverse reactions, but still patient should be kept in observation for around 20 to 30 minutes. Now coming to the basics of the human papilloma virus, the HPV virus and cervical cancer. HPV is composed, has many serotypes. Around 200 HPV serotypes are there, of which 40 infect the genital area, and of which 14 are oncogenic, which are the high risk. And then we have the low risk, which are the 6, 11, 42, 43, and 44. And these are the causative serotypes for genital warts and other benign lesions, and not cancerous. But then these diseases can be very debilitating. And coming to how do we get this vaccine, this virus infection, it's basically a contact. Sexual activity is the main point of source of infection. And high risk 16 and 18 are the cause of cervical cancer and other cancers like anus, vagina, vulva in the females. And the high risk 31 and 35 are responsible for around 30% of the cervical cancer. The low risk 6 and 11 strains are cause of more than 90% cases of genital warts. And low risk HPV strains are mostly cleared by the body's immune response. So most of the time, these viruses are cleared from the body within a span of few years to a decade. Now, why is HPV vaccination important for women? First, we'll talk about women. The human papilloma virus. This is the main cause of cervical cancer, anal cancer, vulvovaginal cancer. And this vaccine protects against all these cancers, not just the cervical cancer, but also the anal, vulvovaginal cancers and also oral cancers. HPV causes much more than cancer. Here we can see it is the cause of major cancers like cervical, we all know. Then we have vulval cancer, the vaginal cancers, the cervical cancer, we all know, the anal cancer, and the oropharyngeal cancers. While it also leads to many precancerous regions of the anus, vulva, and vagina. And HPV attributes to multiple cancers globally. We can here see that the cervical cancer is almost 100% caused by HPV. The vaginal cancer is caused almost 70% by HPV. Vulval cancer 43%. And in males, the penile cancer is caused almost 50% by this virus. So this virus attributes to a major multiple cancers globally, both in men and women. That is why we need to have a strong vaccine against it. Now, coming to the vaccines available, the quadrivalent, we have the Cervavac and Gardasil. It is a quadrivalent vaccine containing 11, 16, and 18 strains of the papilloma virus. And for the 16 and 18 cancer causing, it is almost 100% efficacious in preventing cervical cancer and almost 100% in preventing anogenital warts. So both the benign and the cancerous lesions are covered by this vaccine. So to prevent HPV infection, when do we start with the vaccination? Ideally, it should be started before the child or the adolescent starts the sexual debut, so that the vaccine has the maximum efficacy. Coming to the available vaccines in India, we have two companies producing MSD, which produces Gardasil 4, the quadrivalent vaccines, and Gardasil 9, which is the nonavalent vaccine, which has 9 strains of the HPV virus. While we have the Cervavac, which is again quadrivalent, it is our own Indian-made, world-class, again comparable to any other quadrivalent vaccine available in the world. Now, why Cervavac? What is Cervavac? Let us come to our own Indian vaccine. As we know, Swadeshi is the need of the hour. Cervavac is for India's first indigenously made. It's a world-class vaccine, effective against HPV 6, 11, 16, and 18, which is the cause of major cancers in the females and males. The Gardasil 4 is again quadrivalent vaccine. It again 6, 11, 16, 18, and we have been using this since 2008 when it came into the market. It's a very effective vaccine. And the efficacy, we earlier had the bivalent vaccine, which is not there in the market now, Cervarix. We only have the quadrivalent vaccine, which are effective against both the cancerous lesions as well as the benign lesions like the genital warts and respiratory papillomatosis. Next. Now coming to the Gardasil 9, the nonavalent vaccine which is available, it covers 9 types of the serotypes of the HPV. 6, 11, 16, 18 were already there. It covers virus 31, 33, 45, 52, and 58. And it's almost 98% effective in cervical cancer prevention. Though the company does not claim it to be 100%, and we still have a lot more studies and reports coming in. Now coming, who should get the vaccine? All boys and girls should be vaccinated before the sexual debut. Ideal age is 9 to 14 years when the immune response is very good. So all girls and boys should be vaccinated from the age of 9 years onwards till 14 years, when we give only 2 doses of this vaccine. Now, coming to the point, can women above 15 years also take it? Yes, definitely. This vaccine can be given up to the age of 26 years, and Gardasil 4 can be given till the age of 45 years. It is approved till 45 years, the Gardasil, and Cervavac is given till the age of 26. Hopefully, in the near future, when we have more studies, we'll be able to give it after the age of 26 years also, the Cervavac vaccine. Now, coming to the point of pregnant women. Pregnant women are not advised to be given vaccination during pregnancy. It is not advisable. It should be postponed until after delivery. there should be a gap for around 1 to 3 months before the patient gets pregnant. However, if the patient takes the vaccine inadvertently, there is no need to terminate the pregnancy. This is very important. If the vaccine is taken, pregnancy should not be terminated on this basis only. Can lactating mothers take? Yes, definitely. It's always advisable. It's the right time to counsel the patient and give the vaccine to this patient. Now, coming to the ACOG, CDC, and WHO guidelines, all guidelines approve this vaccine to be taken during lactation. So, there is no bar to be for the lactating mothers not to take this vaccine. Is HPV vaccine useful for women already sexually active? Yes, definitely. It protects against HPV virus types which are not yet been acquired by the female. So, all those viruses which are not there in the body will be helpful in preventing. Is HPV vaccine safe in a sexually active person? Yes. Studies have demonstrated that only 0.4% of women are exposed to the four prevalent serotypes, and 99.6% of sexually active women may still benefit from the vaccines. So, all sexually active women can be given. Coming to the dosage and schedule, we've already listened, but still remind again. At 9 to 14 years, we give 2 doses, 6 months apart. From 15 years and onwards, we give 3 doses at the interval of 0, 2, and 6 months. This dose schedule is very important to be remembered. And what if someone misses a dose? Should the schedule be restarted? No, definitely not. We just complete the remaining doses as early as possible. Whatever is remaining, that should be given as per the schedule. No booster is right now recommended. Immunity is supposed to be long lasting, and we have the data of around 16 to 20 years. The safety and side effects, it is a very safe vaccine. Millions of doses have been given worldwide with excellent safety. So it's a very, very safe vaccine. And there is no breakthrough in the efficacy of this vaccine. Zero. The efficacy breakthrough is zero even after 10 years of vaccination. So it's a very important and useful vaccine. Most common side effects are like with any other vaccine, which are mild pain, swelling, redness, injection site at redness, and low grade fever. So all these are theoretical, but we hardly see any practical side effects. Any serious long-term side effects? No credible evidence of any serious long-term side effects, so it can be safely given. Can HPV vaccination cause infertility? There's a myth among the population that which can cause infertility. No, definitely not. In fact, it helps women to improve the fertility by improving the cervical status, and it helps in conceiving fast because the virus is disallowed to enter the body, so the women's fertility improves. So it definitely doesn't cause infertility at all. Efficacy, effectiveness is very important. It protects the Gardasil 4 and Cervavac prevents against all the 6, 11, 16, 18 virus types. And genital warts almost 100% effective in prevention, and cervical cancer almost 98% efficacious in preventing cervical cancer. Now coming to the Gardasil 9. Gardasil 9 covers 9 types. It has a broader protection. It covers more the 9 serotypes, so it gives a broader protection. Almost 98% of cervical cancers are covered, and literature does not support it to be 100%, but almost 98% is almost good as 100%. And the doctor and the client has to take a call whether they want Gardasil 9 or Gardasil 4. Does HPV vaccine eliminate the need for pap smears? No, definitely not. Screening is the mainstay of prevention and the elimination of cervical cancer, since no vaccine covers 100% HPV types. So screening should be continued as per the schedule which is advised. How long does the protection last? The studies are there for around 12 to 12 years. Possibly lifelong is the immunity given by this vaccine. Can HPV vaccine prevent other cancers? Yes, definitely. This is the main point that we are going to highlight today. It is not only cervical cancer, but other cancers like vaginal, vulvar, anal, oropharyngeal cancers. which are prevented, which are caused by HPV. So this vaccine protects against all these other cancers also. Myths and conceptions are always there with any of the vaccine. Now, there's always a myth, does HPV vaccination encourage promiscuity? No, definitely not. It is purely a cancer prevention vaccine. It does not promote promiscuity. Is HPV vaccine costly? No, cost is always in the mind. Cervavac is quite cost affordable. It's just costing around 2,000. And now with the government efforts, it should be available in the universal immunization programs. So all children and adolescents would be given, and definitely then cost will not be a factor in the patients. Is the vaccine needed if there is no family history of cervical cancer? Definitely yes. Cervical cancer is not a genetic cancer, it is mainly caused by a virus. So if we give a vaccine against the virus, we can protect the patient. Do women need vaccination if already have an abnormal pap smear? Definitely yes, as it prevents future infections with other HPV types. So any patient who has an abnormal pap smear also should take the vaccine. Can natural immunity after HPV infection replace vaccination? No. Natural immunity with any infection is not long lasting. That is why we always give vaccinations to prevent the diseases. Coming to the implementation in India, vaccination has increased to 3%. We aim to increase it to 90% so that we can eliminate the disease from our country. Now, the gynecologists, the nurses, and all the healthcare workers have a very, very, very important role to play in spreading the awareness, counseling, so that more and more people and children take this vaccinate and we are able to eliminate this disease like we have eliminated smallpox and polio. How can teachers and parents support this mission? Teachers and parents, if they are aware of the vaccination, by allowing vaccination in schools and spreading awareness, we can help improve the vaccination spread and in the children, and that is the right age for giving vaccination. Coming to some practical questions. Can HPV vaccine be given with other vaccines? Yes, it can be safely given with other routine vaccines. What should be done? This is a very frequently asked question. What if the first dose was some other, the Gardasil, and the second is Cervix? Ideally, we should complete the series with the same brand, same vaccine. But if it is not possible, we can give whatever available vaccine is there with us. Is HPV vaccination necessary for women who have received HPV treatment? Yes, it prevents reinfection with other HPV types, so we should definitely give the vaccination to any person who has received the treatment. Coming to the cost and access, cost is always a factor in our mind. The Cervavac costs around rupees 2,000 per dose, which is very much affordable. The Gardasil 4 costs around 4,000 per dose. This is also not a very costly dose. And Gardasil 9 is around 10 to 11,000 per dose, but it gives a broader protection. So this cost is not a factor if the protection is much more with this vaccine. Will vaccines become free in government programs? Yes. In the near future, we will have the government giving out this vaccine in the universal immunization program. Are all private doctors allowed to give this vaccine? Yes. It's mostly the private practitioners who are giving this vaccine in the hospitals and clinics. And this needs to be promoted more so that we can cover more and more of population under this vaccination schedule. Future outlook, I think it's very bright, very bright. WHO has accepted this evidence for single dose up to the age of 20 years and 2 doses after the 20 years. But our government still has to prove it as single dose before the age of 20 years. So till then, we give 2 doses, 9 to 15 years, and 15 years onwards, we give 3 doses as advised by the Government of India. Will HPV vaccination completely eliminate? Yes, with universal screening and vaccination, we can eliminate this cancer by 2062-65. We've already seen with smallpox and polio. When we can eliminate these 2 diseases, we definitely can eliminate cervical cancer also. Now, what message should doctors give to every mother? This is the right time for all gynecologists. We can counsel all our patients and to give the vaccination to their daughters and to their sons also, so that all of them are covered under the vaccination schedule, and we have a herd immunity which can protect all the population. Now, final take-home message. The HPV vaccine, it is a safe, effective, affordable, and life-saving vaccine. Every eligible girl, woman should be vaccinated. Till the age of 45, it can be given to all the females 9 years onwards. Now, coming to some such special situations, sexual assault survivors should be given this vaccination at the time of initial examination so that they can be protected. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you, Seema, for such an insightful and practical uh, presentation. And I'm very, very sure that this is highlighted so many questions, already frequently asked questions, and why vaccination is so much important and why it may be a game changer in the future time. And we have a lots of hope that India will also conquer this disease. And because for certain things we must keep in mind that primary prevention, this is primary prevention, and the secondary prevention is definitely screening in the all the required cases. And so that prevention is one stage, and only together all we can, it is the awareness. And all of, we should not say that if Delhi is doing, the why should the UP should do, and why if there's one organization is doing so why other. So we all should do together, and with government of India we should make our India shine, and we must keep on doing this. And so I don't think there's any question left there. And we all know that I want to say only few points that understanding HPV infection, one or two points I will highlight before I invite the most impactful speaker today's evening. That human papillovirus HPV infects both male and female, and transmitted primarily through intimate contact. And more than 200 HPV types are existing, and 40 types are mainly infect the genital tract, and among them the 14 are oncogenic. And HPV infection is responsible for a spectrum of malignant and benign diseases, not only limited to cervix. And nearly 80% of the sexually active individual will acquire at least once in their lifetime one type of infection, and the majority clear spontaneously, but persistent infection with high risk, this leads to much more problem. So now it's time to introduce uh, another a second our most important speaker. So let's all give a thunderous welcome to today's speaker, who is not only a teacher but a powerhouse of positivity and energy, a real Jordar personality who can turn any session into pure inspiration, and our chief patron of NIGF and main secretary general of DGF. And I must say she's teacher of teachers and founder secretary general, and she's an MC and MCI member, also passionate medical activist. If she is there, she will handle everything, and she will make everybody do that. That is a main thing. So we need to have persons like that if we want to eliminate this dreadful disease of cancers and other associated cancer in India. So she is decorated with many lifetime achievement award. और मैडम के लिए बस एक लाइन बोल के चलूंगी, जोश है तो रास्ते खुद ही बन जाते हैं। मैडम सबके लिए कहती हैं, जोश है तो रास्ते खुद ही बन जाते हैं, इरादे नेक हों तो सब साथ हो ही जाते हैं। वेलकम डॉक्टर शारदा जैन मैडम, वेलकम। She will
Thank you
talk
so
on
much.
vaccination in
Yes, yes. I think Dr. Seema has elaborated role of HPV vaccination in girls and a woman in a big detail. But I wish to tell you that beyond he also matters. As Dr. Archana had just now said, HPV is a sexually transmitted infection, and nearly all sexually active individuals will get it at some point in their lives. What is the human papilloma virus? It is absolutely asymptomatic. Around 7 to 8% Indians have HPV infection. Persistent infection can develop into anogenital wars, precancers, and cancers. And as has been told, it is transmitted through sexual contact, which can be any of the sexual contact. Direct skin to skin contact in the genital area can also spread HPV infection. As had been already highlighted, again repeated, that there are 200 HPV viruses. Out of that, 14 are oncogenic viruses, and these 14 viruses cause a havoc both in a woman and man. You can see here what is the spectrum of cancers which are seen in both men and women, and this slide is probably much better. It highlights what are the infections which are there. As you know that in cervical cancer, it is seen in almost 100% of cases, while in anal cancers, both in a man and woman, it is there in 90% of cases. Penile cancer, it is found in 65% cases. Now, as for the genital warts are concerned, which can occur both in men and women, it is the HPV 6 and 11, which are the commonest causes of genital warts. As far as cervix is concerned, I already told you that it is 100% HPV infection is underlying cause. And one beautiful thing is, this is only cancer in a man and a woman, which is 100% preventable, following the strategy of the WHO, which is 90-70-90. WHO said it is not only the privilege of high income countries to eliminate cancer cervix, even a low and a middle income group, by following the strategy of 90% vaccination to adolescent girls, 70% people should be screened by age 35 and 45, and 90% should be treated for precancerous lesions in case if they are diagnosed. Will be very interesting for you to know that all cases of cancer cervix, you find out of 5 cases, in 3, the men are also positive for HPV infection. So the positivity rate in men of HPV is 60% and more. So discussing the role of vaccination in a man. Now you can find that Australia was the first country to start gender neutral vaccine in 2013. And now there are 81 countries in the world which give gender neutral vaccine. Everything which is painted with blue are these 81 countries where it is part and parcel of national immunization program, where it is given to both men and boys and girls. Now, there are 6 big bodies which say this vaccination in men is as safe as in women. But my plea is, the younger the person, the better will be the vaccine effectiveness. Now, as you know, in our country, our priority is girls and girls and girls. But at the same time, it is available for use for boys between 9 to 26 years. But the government is not going to put money at the moment for boys. It is not going to be part and parcel of national immunization program where the boys will also get the free vaccine. No. So relying solely on a female vaccination to protect men epidemiologically, it is not right and ethically questionable. It leaves half of the population unprotected, perpetuates transmission, and that's why we are talking on a national telecast for every parent to know that their boys also need to be vaccinated if we want HPV to be eliminated from our country. Head and neck cancers are the prime concerns. In the Western world, you find 70% of oropharyngeal cancers are HPV positive. HPV is now leading cause of oropharyngeal cancers, that is cancer of the tonsil and the base of the tongue, surpassing tobacco in many Western countries. And this trend is emerging in India too. Now, we all know that the treatment for these oropharyngeal cancer is surgery or chemo or radiation. It is devastating, affecting the speech, swallowing, and the quality of life. As for the anal cancers are concerned, HPV causes 90% of anal cancers. Men who have sex with men are at exceptionally high risk, but it also affects the heterosexual men. As far as the penile cancers are concerned, it is a rare cancer, but HP is responsible for approximately 50% of the penile cancers. Genital warts, I repeat, it is a frustrating problem, and though it's a non-cancer burden, HPV vaccination is 100% preventive as far as the genital warts are concerned. Now, there is another problem which is of recurrent respiratory papillomatosis. This happens in the process of delivery in women who are HPV positive with 6 and 11. It is a vertical transmission of HPV type 6 and 11, leading to recurrent invasive throat surgeries repeatedly. And it becomes frustrating for the parents to get these things done. Now, the transmission link, I think all of you must remember that we had told earlier that who are sexually active, they will get this particular virus once in their lifetime, at least one of the viruses of HPV. But at 30 years, before 30 years, a phenomenon takes place of a major clearance. Much less in men. It is seen that the clearance is much more in a woman than men. And these men, where it is disease is persisting, they become the key reservoirs for HPV transmission for women. Vaccinating men directly, 90% it can interrupt this community transmission from man to woman. Now, immunity gap. Current female vaccination coverage in India is suboptimal. The Government of India figures in 2025 is only 2%. Even with perfect female program, where it is expected that 90% population would have had the vaccination, unvaccinated men would remain a reservoir, putting vaccinated women with waning immunity or non-responders at risk of having HPV recurrent infection. Now, men having sex with men and immunocompromised men, they're like HIV patients, benefit immensely from HPV vaccination, but are completely will remain unprotected if it is female-only program in the country. And that is why the Government of India has brought indigenous vaccine, Cervix, which is a gender-neutral vaccine, and the boys should also be given vaccination, and awareness must be created among parents as well as among teachers. The rationale beyond individual protection. The potential eradication of 14 oncogenic HPV types can only be achieved by vaccinating both genders. Females are priority, but in case people can afford it, they should also give it to the boys. The low seroconversion. Whenever they have HPV infection, the seroconversion is less than 8% in men. The recurrence rate is seen that whenever they're infected with HPV 16 or 18, they have a recurrence rate is seen in 25% of cases. And it is seen that 100% there is a seroconversion takes place whenever these boys take HPV vaccination. So HPV preventable with HPV vaccination in men 100%, while by having a disease, it is seroconversion is less than 8%. While early models favored females only, not only in India, everywhere, but as the data emerged that in case if you want clearance of HPV infection from the country, then it should be given to boys as well. And that is why gender-neutral vaccination has become cost-effective. Now, framing it as a universally health measure destigmatizes the vaccine, and people call it as a sexual female vaccine only. But once it's a gender-neutral vaccine and given in a national immunization program, it takes away the stigma attached to this particular vaccine. Now, as we all know that for cancer cervix, there are screening methods are available. Pap smear, HPV high-risk DNA panel, and VIA and Willy. This is not a routine thing as far as cancers as men are concerned. There are no cancer screening available in men for a prevention of these vaccinations, just like cancer cervix. So what we should do for boys? It should be opportunist vaccination. Whenever boys आपकी क्लिनिक में आते हैं, आपको ये अपॉर्चुनिटी रूज नहीं करनी है, आपने उनके पेरेंट्स को एडवाइस करना है, उनको एडवाइस करना है कि उनको HPV वैक्सीनेशन लेना है. This is called opportunist vaccination. Whenever you are in touch with these boys, You should suggest them vaccination, counsel them, and this should not be a missed opportunity for primary prevention. The evidence and efficacy, the Cervavac and the nanovalents are two gender-neutral vaccines which are available in the country. Vaccines, when given, they prevent 90%, they are effective in preventing persistent infection. But 100% they are effective in genital warts and taking care of precancerous lesions. If precancerous lesions are treated, almost 100% they can be prevention of those cancers, like anal, penile, which are found in HPV types in men, and now oropharyngeal cancers of HPV type has become very frequent in men also. Now, as far as Cervavac and Gardasil is concerned, question will obviously come in your mind that which one is better? Cervavac and Gardasil 4 head-to-head comparison of the two groups. Two groups were made of 9 to 15 years and 16 to 26 years. The language, scientific language, is that Cervavac is no inferior. In fact, antibody response of Cervavac has been 1,000-fold increase for all HPV types included in the vaccine. And this vaccine has been tested in a top 10 institution in the country, and it has been absolutely world-class vaccine as far as Cervavac is concerned. Studies show that antibody levels remain high for at least a decade, with no evidence of waning protection. Cervavac data of last 2 years is available, and now it will be soon published in Lancet. Long-term follow-up is ongoing. Both vaccines have an excellent safety data in males. It is identical to the safety data which is found in females. The most common adverse event is injection site pain and at times a very mild fever. No causal link is seen to any serious adverse events, just like women. The vaccine is highly effective in men having sex with men and HIV positive individuals who bear a disproportionate disease burden. In HIV positive cases, 3 doses are recommended of HPV vaccination. And then also you should give an undertaking that no 100% guarantee is promised in HIV positive cases for seroconversion. As for the real world data is concerned, countries with a strong gender neutral vaccine programs like Australia, UK, Sweden have seen dramatic reduction in genital warts and HPV prevalence in both young men and women. That's why 81 countries are having gender neutral vaccine in their national immunization program. Now, as for the SAGE recommendation of WHO is concerned, the WHO Strategic Advisory Group of Experts recommends vaccination for girls and boys, prioritizing multi-age cohort match. अगर HPV को कम्युनिटी से हटाना है तो वैक्सीनेशन दोनों को देना पड़ेगा. Girls are priority and the boys should be also given in case if the government has money. The tips for the clinician. Primary target is 9 to 14 years, 2 doses, both of Cervavac and Gardasil, 0 and 6 months. Catch-up vaccination can be given between 15 to 26 years. Here one has to use 3 doses, 0, 2 and 6 months. Gardasil 9 cannot be given between 15 to 26. It is only the Cervavac and Cervavac which can be given in this particular group. As far as the advice to the parents is concerned, today we are recommending 2 vaccines, Tdap booster and HPV vaccine. When you bundle them together, it reduces the hesitation of the parents. But when we're talking to the young adults, boys, regardless of your gender or sexual history, the HPV vaccine is recommended to protect against genital warts and several cancers, including throat cancers. Consider taking it just like girls. Parents at times have a hesitancy. They say, doc, won't it promote promiscuity? Extensive research data is available now, shows that it does not lead to earlier or riskier sexual activity. It is a cancer vaccine. Doc, my son isn't sexually active. In fact, this particular vaccine should be given before the sexual exposure, and then only it becomes a future protection vaccine. Lead by example. All doctors should say that, I have vaccinated my son, my nephew, and physician recommendation of single 2 minutes can be the single biggest predictor and motivator for vaccine uptake by the boys. Be the champion. IMA members, you're all IMA members, your collective voice can influence national policy. Women and girls are the priority, but you should also advocate that it should be given to boys. Initially, it will be given in a private sector only. The government will chip in only much later. This is the ultimate goal. So the conclusion and the call for action is HPV is not a woman's virus. It's a human oncogenic virus. The burden of HPV related cancer in men is significant and growing. Vaccinating boys is safe, effective, and ethically sound. And that's why it is available in 81 countries in a national immunization program. It is only strategy to protect men directly and accelerate the elimination of HPV cancers for all. So, coming to the final conclusion, your recommendation is powerful. Every clinical encounter with young boys is an opportunity for prevention. Let's not wait for oropharyngeal cancer epidemic to hit us in full force. Let's prevent it today. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you, madam. It was really an eye-opener session with you. And I must say that what ma'am says, that when we are talking about adolescent, you see, we have already seen that HPV vaccines are extremely safe, and Bharat moves towards the gender neutral HPV also. What I think that nowadays focus is on Gen Z. They are very very smart, keeping a smartphone always connected on net and social media, Facebook, whatnot. But we want them, are you smart enough, are you taking HPV vaccination or not? So this our Gen Z should come forward and make this self respect for themselves also, and for family also, that so that their family is protected from all those fear factor of cancers. So all children can do a lot, they can be a champion, they are, our nation is looking forward, looking at them. And so we are only, we can recommend, but that memento, the like the waves which comes to do the things, they are in their hands only. Madam very rightly said that they have to be champion and nothing like that. They should remember that men are reservoirs, and no screening possible, and herd immunity only possible if both are given vaccine. So madam, I think today's session has been very very good.
I have to
And
only make one comment before we wind up and take a last
yes,
closing
yes,
remark from everybody.
yes, ma'am.
Uh, the government has seen, you have seen COVID times, government pumped the money, got the vaccination, and it was given to the 90% of population. And not only it gave the vaccination here, it sent it across. So what is there? The once government opens its money, it will be 90% of adolescent girls will be given vaccination. That is for sure. But what about gynecologists? Our screening rate is only 3%. And all doctors are not skilled to treat precancerous lesions. So we have to back up 90, 70, 90. 90, the government will do it because private sector cannot do it. It is 2% vaccination rate is there. So I think, what you have to do, you have to skill yourself to do colposcopy, to do cryocautery, to do thermal ablation, to do leap therapy. All those things you must be absolutely 100%. And my request should be empower yourself. Once you empower yourself, you will empower a woman, and the cancer cervix will be eliminated. Previously, it was said it will take 100 years to eliminate cancer cervix. But I think, no screening program is on. It is only the gynecologists have to do it. Gynecologists have to do it. Gynecologists have to do it. So they must empower themselves and take the courses, develop the knowledge, develop the skill, and then only it will be possible. So final word from Dr. Seema. Seema, closing remark, क्या आपका message होगा?
Thank you, ma'am. Definitely, if there's a will, there's a way. If we think Awareness is definitely required. All the healthcare professionals, social media, government, all the parents and teachers, once they are aware, it will definitely be in the minds, and then they will definitely take the vaccine. Over the past few years, I think I've seen the acceptance and the awareness has definitely much increased. People are coming forward on their own to take the vaccine. And this concept of boys, this also has started coming up. Parents are definitely aware, and the pediatricians are also giving the vaccines. I think if we do our job sincerely, honestly, we can definitely achieve our target. भारत can achieve what we, हम तो बाकी सब चीजें अचीव कर सकते हैं, ये भी मुश्किल नहीं है.
Dr. Archana.
मैम आई ऑल्सो वांट टू से, जैसे मैडम ने और सीमा जी ने बोला कि ये इसको वैक्सीन ना समझा जाए, सिंपल एक इंजेक्शन शॉट ना समझा जाए. ये एक बहुत बहुत बड़ा हमारे पास एक चीज है जिसे हम कहना चाहेंगे कॉम्प्रिहेंसिव इन्फेक्शन प्रिवेंशन टूल. And if it is, we are using it properly, so this is shielding both men and women and our family. Single dose today protects life, and it's a lifetime gift for every child, every family, and we must remember this and must promote this, and all should do it together.
Yes, I think the time of awareness is gone. Now the time is of action.
Awesome.
And my special request is vaccination. The government will do it, but the screening part and the treatment of precancerous lesions, it is the gynecologists have to do it. They should come forward, empower themselves, where each and every gynecologist in this country says, I know it, I can do it, I can treat it very confidently. That will be the final day. So thank you very much, the team. It had been absolutely pleasure, Archana, that you spared your time to come and moderate this particular session. We are especially thankful to Med Talks, because the time is up. We are going to wind it up. And I think question answer session has made it very, very clear. No question has been left in people's mind, and that's why we do not find in the chat box.
Thank you, madam. This
Sure.
is one of the most important time is the most important thing, and this everybody has taken good care of it, and we should talk less and work more. Action speaks more volumes.
We should walk the talk. That is it. We should walk the talk. And I will say that the government has spent 4 crores of rupees training you as an MBBS and a specialist. And now you have to small skills you have to develop, and you have to pay back to the country.
Yes.
Madam Shion, thank you very much. We are very highly obliged that you gave us this platform.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for this wonderful session. It's our pleasure to have you here. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Thank you. बहुत बढ़िया हो गया.